Hey, what's up guys? Assassin here, welcome back to another episode of Dirty Bomb. Last week we saw the Hunter update in which finally Hunter was released. Of course also we saw the now very infamous Phantom rework as well as the Terminal Redux, which I will have to say is really awesome, and I think the first part is definitely a lot better than it used to be. We also saw the addition of Ranked Season 4 skins, which honestly, I do think it's a cool addition. I'm not really too impressed with the skins themselves, probably won't buy them. And then finally we also saw a new Armory UI, which I will say is awesome, because now you can see all of your cards just in one page, basically, just with the scrolling. Really nice, and also, of course, lots of search bars and all kinds of stuff. I think it's really good. Definitely makes the game look, at least in that department, a lot more modern. And on top of that, they of course did a lot of bug fixes, like they always do. They reduced the pricing of some mercs, they kind of retweaked the snipers again, so mainly the animation stuff. I still think snipers feel a little bit weird, just because there is such a long delay between firing and being able to switch to your secondary or knife. I don't know if that's by design or that's buggy or whatever. I don't really like it. For me personally, it makes sniping, at least with the bolt actions, pretty much unusable. But definitely let me know what you think of the current way the snipers work. Now, of course, on to the main thing, and that is the new merc, Hunter. I will say, at first, I mean, I actually said it in a few videos prior to the release of Hunter, that I wouldn't really be interested in it too much, because it's basically like a Sparks type of thing where you have to charge, and, well, of course with Sparks you don't have to lead your shots, but with Hunter you do. It is not as much as I thought it would be. Definitely, like the first few games I played, I was leading my shots way too much, I was aiming way too high, and then after a while I kind of got into it, and I will say, he's a ton of fun. He's definitely a really high skill level merc, probably the most high skill level merc you have in the game currently, just because you can get really good with him. If you charge the bow fully, it does do a fuck ton of damage. The EMP bolt is really cool because you can just shoot it exactly where you want, and it can be really useful. Definitely see some use in it, maybe in competitive. Though there is also, of course, a lot of other really good mercs. I will say, if you hit the enemy target, it also spots them, so that's really good. Of course, it is still a recon merc. And overall, I think it's just a really, it's definitely a badass looking merc. Really nice art style. I will say the Ulu, whatever you call it, his knife, it's a bit wonky. I don't know if the hitbox is off, the range is really low. I don't know what it is. I really can't use it. Even to finish people, I have troubles most of the time. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe that needs to be fixed, I'm not sure. I will say there is one card, I think the 367, which has both chopper and quick slash, and of course the new knife, which that is actually a really cool combination. So here we go, let's craft our Hunter Cobalt. This should also give us a achievement. I also need to craft a Phantom one, so let's do this. 50,000 credits. I don't have crafting kits anymore, so should have bought actually a few extra. There we go, the achievement. All I hope is I don't get the 4117. No, we are not. We are getting the 495, which... let's take a quick look at it. Looks not shard, fragmented. Yes, it's fragment. Kinda sucks. Yeah, we have the new pistol, or the machine pistol, the Smith & Watchman, the Crockery. Don't really like that knife too much. Recharge. I don't know if that's for the the actual main bolts, if that counts too. I haven't used this perk yet. Double time, which, you know, you use the bolts, the crossbow for the most part, so that's kind of useless too. And then we have this one too. So, quick summary of my thoughts on Hunter. Great merc, lots of fun. Definitely, probably at the moment, the most fun you can have for a merc. Not per se like he's the best merc, but more he's the most unique merc by far. I mean, this is the first merc that has kind of like doesn't have a hit scan weapon. Well, he has hit scan weapons, of course, just the primaries, or which are basically the secondaries. His new pistol is also really good. I really like the sound and the animations of it. It feels really powerful, though I think statistically it's not really that much better or worse than other pistols, but it definitely feels really nice. I do like the iron sight, just the one pin sticking out. This unique new primary is also really cool. Sounds definitely quite nice. 18 round magazine is a little bit on the low side, but I think it makes up for a pretty decent damage. Definitely a lot of fun to use, and also really good sound design. So all in all, I think Hunter is definitely a great merc, a lot of fun. I wouldn't necessarily say he's the best recon. I still personally prefer snipers, though like I said, sniping at the moment for me it feels a little bit off. I definitely will play a Hunter quite a bit more, and I also will say that his special edition is definitely good looking, though I think, in my opinion, it is a little bit high priced. I went of course with the old merc package, which I in hindsight definitely should not have done because I already had all of the mercs, and the card alone is 10 bucks, so Splash Damage needs to release roughly 5 to 6 mercs before I actually benefit from buying the old merc pack. Nevertheless, it is really cool to see that they finally split this, the cards and the package, because before you basically had no choice. If you wanted to get the special edition cards, you had to purchase it with real life money and you couldn't get it with the in-game credits. Now you can at least save a little bit of money by buying him with in-game credits and then buying the card separately. On to Phantom. So Phantom got a rework. He's now pretty much nearly invisible. Also the sound of his cloak and uncloak and all that kind of stuff. His footsteps are a little bit louder, but basically all of the other sounds are really silent. In my opinion, a little bit too silent. Playing Aura is, or any other mercs with 90 or less health, it is really difficult, almost impossible, because you can't really hear him. You have to have really good game sense or just know that he's coming, or otherwise you will get stabbed in the back and you will just instantly die. I know there are counter arguments like, well, snipers are instant one hits, but with snipers you have usually a pretty good idea where they are, so you can kind of stay away from them or take cover or whatever. With Phantom, you really don't know. It's at the moment at least, you can't really do too much about it. If they come straight ahead of you, I found that actually his cloak, you can see it, you know, fairly easily if you get used to it a little bit. Playing low health mercs is just a lot harder with the current Phantom. Now, I'm really happy that Splash Damage has announced that they are going to change it. They have admitted, like, yeah, we kind of screwed up, we went a little bit too far, so that should actually hit today, so fingers crossed. I'm really curious to see what is going to change. Hopefully a little bit more sound, that would be nice. A little bit more visibility, maybe not too much. Another thing is, of course, now his EMP ability is separate from his main cloak. I think that's really good, and that's pretty much all people asked for. That's if they just went with the old merc, maybe a little bit less noise and a little bit more invisibility, and just split the EMP from his cloak. I think that people would be just absolutely happy about that. They went the extra step and made him pretty much invisible and silent. And now he's, I would say, almost as OP as he was at launch, which, if the people remember, his katana was just broken. That thing was just absolutely insane. So that says quite a bit that I compared this current version to the version at release. They're probably on par on like OP level. OPness. Yeah, I had to say that. Fuck. Of course, we have the Terminal Redux, so they totally overhauled the first part of the map. I mean, you can still see roughly the layout of the old map, but pretty much all of the assets, everything is brand spanking new. I will say the art style really looks nice. I think, you know, the second part now feels kind of out of place, but that might just because you're used to like the old map, and then now you have this first part which really feels like a new map, and then you know, the second part is like the old map, so it's kind of weird. Would be nice if they just completely overhauled the map, not maybe the layout itself, but just the style and the visuals. Because let's be honest, it is kind of an old map. I mean, it's been in there, I think, from the start. And I know that will take a lot of time, which they currently don't really have because of the 1.0 release, of course. But you know, we can always hope. So those are pretty much my thoughts on the Hunter update. I know I kind of went on a ramble at the end, or pretty much during the whole video. But do let me know what you think of Hunter. Do let me know what you think of Phantom currently. I know the vast majority is not really too excited about him. Even Phantom players themselves are like, no, this is a little bit overkill. This is a bit too much. But all in all, I think, and I said this, I actually even tweeted this, they went overkill with Javelin. She was pretty strong, maybe too strong, borderlines OP. They definitely went too weak with Guardian, in my opinion. But with Hunter, I think they found the perfect middle ground. He's definitely usable, he's not OP, he's not too weak. Maybe a little bit of tweaking. So those are my thoughts on the update. Do let me know what you think of it. Anyways, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.